Go out again. Country house sounded like a muffler was gonna fall off. Oh, he came over. Dynamic one. Better gallop than that.
I love photo bombing, y'all. Love
It's your favorite part of the day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We'll get them. How'd it go today?
I thought it went great. Yeah, we had a good morning. Everyone executed the breezes the way we were hoping to, so I was very, very happy.
The heavy lifting is out of the way for the.
Yeah, I mean that was a final piece of major work, and we'll just kind of have routine gallops and some gate schooling, paddock schooling, that sort of stuff leading up to the race. Races.
Anybody get a gold star this morning at your 5?
I mean, just knowing all their personalities and what type of workhorses they are. Known Agenda's not the most aggressive workhorse. I know some people have been picking on him a little bit, but it's just. I said before we came here, he's not an always dreaming that's going to come in here and go in 59 by himself. That's not his personality. I thought he had a good, productive work today and last week, and I really liked the way Sainthood worked with him. They were good mates and both put in good quality works. I thought Dynamic One was particularly impressive this morning. I liked the way he finished and loved the way he galloped out, and it seemed like he was full of energy and kind of did it with his ears pricked. So I thought his work was excellent. Bourbonic, he's been pretty aggressive the last few days galloping, so I decided to work him by himself, and thought it was a good steady breeze with a particularly strong gallop out, and seems like the further he goes, the better he gets. So happy with all. Philly's, yeah. I mean, she's a star. She does everything right, and effortless 48, and good gallop out. And John Velasquez on board. He said she handled the track well, and it's what we've always expected from her. Accustomed to seeing, just good quality breeze.
The one race, is it? I know it wasn't by design like you mentioned yesterday, but now that you've only had the one, you feel that it's enough to have her.
Well, yeah, I think so, because I think naturally she's designed to go 1.8 miles, and the further she goes, the better she'll get. And we had a good foundation of 2-year-old races into her after her 7 furlong maiden race, and attempted then the Demoiselle at 1.8 miles in the beginning of December. So perfect world, maybe we'd had 2 preps, but I feel like we've arrived here in as good a shape as we could be, so maybe it was a blessing.
And also, it wasn't necessarily an easy race. She just didn't. She had to work.
No, she had to work. I mean, she came home the last quarter, I think, in 23-2, and ran down a nice filly, and like I said, I think added distance is going to be to her liking.
Todd, you mentioned Dynamic One again. I don't know anything, but very smooth down the backside after the work, and just like it was nothing. Yeah,
I mean, he really picked it up on the gallop out past the wire, and I had Jose Ortiz on the radio and kind of reeled him in after the 113 and change. Or I was a little worried he was going to keep going and overdo it a little bit. So but while he was doing that, he threw his ears up, and so seemed like he was doing it well within himself.
Is he, the very first race that he ran, I'm sure, was one that still.
Yeah, I mean, he's a horse that we really liked before his debut, and we expected big things from him. And his first start, going 7/8, he drew the one hole, and he hopped at the start and hit the side of the gate and didn't run his race. And then we come back in a maiden race next time from a difficult post position at Gulfstream, and he's second to Greatest Honor, which we were disappointed he didn't win, but we felt like we were on course. And the race that kind of threw us off was when he finished fourth in his next start at Gulfstream. But again, he had a difficult post position, going a mile and a 16th there, and that's when we decided, let's get away from Gulfstream, go back to Aqueduct, and get a mile and an eighth race into him. And fortunately, that worked out well. And I think in the wood, that was what we were hoping for in terms of him showing us that he belongs with this group. But he kind of got there, and then he didn't know what to do with it once he made the lead. So I think he's still a work in progress and putting it all together, and seems to be improving at the right time.